Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another session of The Playhouse. Hey, I can already hear the exciters because you can see who is in front of the screen. With me, I have got Yani, the true OG, another lady. First and foremost, I've got another lady with me who has been in the industry. Next year, she will be celebrating her 25th year in the industry. If you do not know who Masika is, trust me, you are definitely living under a rock. She has won Groove Awards galore. I mean, this whole house is filled with them. Behind them, two of them are there. She's got hit singles which have been East Africa-wide, Africa-wide huge. And we're going to be talking about all of that. She's got Skiza songs which have been the #1 Skiza song and the most downloaded Mdundo song in the country. So this is a story that you definitely want to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together for none other than Masika. Mercy, welcome to the Playhouse.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be here. Thank you so much for the story that you're about to share.
Thank you. Thank you for, we trust you, so that's why
Yeah.
we're like, okay, it's okay.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited because, first of all, we have another lady telling the story. I'm excited because I want to hear your journey. Mm-hmm. I caught you in 2005, but your journey started way back, and then your journey has still been able to do some amazing things. Mm-hmm. But I love starting the Playhouse like this. When did you, Mercy, first fall in love or get the passion for music?
When I was 10, there was a tape. Okay, we used to play a lot of music. So I'd be in my dad's bedroom and he'd be playing music, exposing me. And I think his gift was giving me pictures of how this person was singing. There was a lady, Mahalia Jackson. I don't even know her. She's Black American. She was quite the leading artist when Martin Luther was. And he'd be telling me how she'd sing and just go crazy and everything. So the picture in my head would be like, wow, I want to do that. And then he'd be talking about another Ugandan lady who I never met. Like he should be climbing on top of chairs. I don't know if he was playing with my imagination, but I was like, what? I wanna do that. So by the time I was 10, I was, I want to do my album because it was really, there were pictures in my mind of what I wanna be musically.
Okay, you're saying by the time you're 10, you were like, I want to do my album.
Yes.
So that means before that, you could already sing. You already knew you could sing?
Yes, I knew.
Okay, with you, let's start it differently.
Yeah.
When did you know you could sing?
I have pictures of me singing when I was small, but I don't remember very well things. But I remember when I was 10, actually, 11 there was a guy who came from America. Of course, my dad used to do conferences. And so he gave me $100. And said, after I sang, and gave me $100 and said, oh, you're such a singer. I think that's the memory I have of me singing and someone, quite appreciating me. He was called Gichuru Jeremy. I don't know where he is right now. And he appreciated me when I was young. I think it made me realize, well, I can be someone. I didn't even know what $100 was. I folded it, I remember. After he gave me, I kept it, Then my dad was like, $100.
Iko happy.
hey, how much is it? It's like, that time it was like 5,000. 5,000 then was quite something.
Yeah.
And so I think people like those, people who encouraged me, small things like those. And I believe that's what we need to do for the younger generation, to encourage them and tell them this is the way. Because that quite made, and then 12 years I had done my album when I was 11. I went to Makerere University. My dad was preaching. And the whole campus came to see me. I don't know what happened or what. I think it was God who organized all that. Those are the things that told me, you're meant to be a singer. Go that way. It gave me pride.
I've interviewed a couple of people on this Playhouse. None of them have recorded an album at 12.
Oh.
So I love it because, and I love your story, but then in the Playhouse, I'm always trying to find the genesis. So your story is so different and I love it. You see, you're telling me somebody saw you on a stage singing and came and appreciated you with $100. So tell me about your upbringing. Your parents, what role did your parents play that you were already on a stage singing, already confident enough to enter a booth and go and record an album? Like, tell me about your upbringing so that I can have a picture of what role they played for you to be there at the age of 12.
Everyone else was singing in my family. We were actually like a band of sorts.
This is now the story. So how many are you in your family?
We were 4 kids. 4 kids, I'm the second one. So me and my elder sister, we started singing together for a long time. So my sister still sings, but I think she had other priorities. I was really passionate about music. And so along the way, I don't know how I started becoming the leader of the band. I don't know. They never quite tell you. But what my parents did is that I think they were intentional. Now I see that. Because, when I was growing up, I was just having a good time and being inspired. And my mom would be like, look at this woman, Shirley Caesar. Shirley Caesar is one of the, she's
She's
and
the OG of the...
Yeah, of the Black American. And she'd be like, look, she's now drunk in the Holy Spirit. I'm like, what? You look at the things that they used to say. Now they mean something to me because they'd say something like, we need to go and fast. I'm like, yeah, because that time I didn't know the importance of fasting. But it helped me become more serious with my ministry. They'd be like, you need to pray before this. And
what did your parents do?
What did they do? They would encourage me to do that.
No, what was their profession?
They were teachers,
but
they were always in ministry. They were always going to preach somewhere every weekend. They would say they will spend and be spent for the gospel. Totally. So their salary was not, they would give almost all of their salary. My dad was saying he didn't even give tithe, he gives all his salary to ministry, which is, I believe, was sacrificial living. And so in a way, I think that modeled the way for me in terms of ministry is not about what you can gain, but what you give. Yeah, and so I feel them giving me a platform and creating platforms for me to sing in the conferences, in the meetings, because they were the stars of the meeting, also gave me confidence and made me become serious. I think what they also modeled being real Christians, being sacrificial in their lives, and they played a major role with who they were, not just what they said.
I get that.
Yeah.
So you, from birth, you've been listening to gospel. There was no Boys to Men in your digs or...
But there was Sundowner.
Yeah.
I don't know if you used to listen to Sundowner. Sundowner used to be at KBC when it was just KBC. And used to listen. My dad would be like, wanaimba nyimbo mzuri. Kwa wengine achana na content.
Yes.
So some along the way I got to know Whitney Houston, Celine Dion. They played a part in who I became musically. Who else? There were many others, Deborah Cox.
Yes.
But I realized as much as, like those Channel O, Channel O, I would be waiting for Whitney or somebody who sings well. And then along the way, I remember there was someone who saw what I was watching, because it would come at night, and then I'd have to see it because I was really passionate about music. And so I see it, wait. Then along the way, there are dirty songs that come in between. And I remember someone telling my parents, but I really thank God that I was not attracted to the world. I was more into how, Whitney singing.
Yeah, it was the music.
It was the music.
It was the vocal prowess.
The prowess, and they were beautiful, and they were, basically. So yes, we've been listening to gospel mainly, but I think I was more attracted to godliness and neat stuff, sundowner, music with good content.
Okay, so and this time when you're born, where are you? Where are you?
Where was
Nairobi?
No, I wasn't in Nairobi.
Okay.
Mimi ni mshamba. We started off in Nairobi because I remember my nursery pre-unit and class 1 I was in Lavington Primary because my parents were teaching at Nairobi school. And so what happened is at least I had good English. You know, yeah.
English is
So
pretty
then after that my dad was alipigwa transfer akaenda Ukambani, Masi, some place called Masi. And so in Masi is where we quite grew up. And then along the way went more interior into Shags.
Okay, like deeper into Kombani.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then of course came back to Machakos for Machakos Primary to do my class 7 and 8. But our base was mainly in Shags, which I feel gave me a balance because we were more attracted to the urban way of living, me and my sisters. But living there made us be more grounded. We didn't like it. And we were forced by circumstances to actually go back Shags. And so we didn't like it, but I feel it made us better people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Okay, so now, when you're about 12, what class are you? By the time now...
I was in class 7.
Okay, let's talk about now you going to record an album even before you've done your KCP. Where, how, when? Explain. How many songs?
Oh, yeah. That time it was River Road. So we came from Machakos, I remember. My mom had been a Daystar alumni, so she was a friend to Helen Mtawali. So I remember very well, I loved Helen Mtawali when I was a kid. She was animated and blue eyes and all crazy. She was crazy. She's better now. I don't know if you know. So we came from Masi to Nairobi that morning, very early. We were here by, I think, 7, River Road, at a studio, Kanyotu's studio. And it was, we had prepared, of course, before. My mom would play guitar and then, you know, prepare the songs together. She wrote most of the songs. And so it was a very tiring day. That's all I remember. I was sick at the end of the day because, you know, they would come, the guitar man, that was the intro of my song. Tumeshika to record. You know, so that was like 7 songs. 7 songs in one day. They're rehearsing and recording immediately. The tape was noisy. It was something, but I love it because it was the beginning of something that I did not know.
So from that, what was the name of that album? Do you remember?
Nobody Like Jesus.
Nobody Like Jesus.
Nobody Like Jesus. Yeah, it was a good album.
So did you take any songs to radio from that? Did you shoot those quick videos?
That time there was KBC. We never thought of videos.
Videos are that.
Yeah.
What year is this?
95.
Whoa.
95.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we, I saw myself in the paper, then I was a star in school. TV, KBC is where we would go. So I went there. I should go get those videos of me singing.
You should.
I was very black. I had lots of hair.
Yeah.
I didn't care about looks. And so now I try. I don't care much anyway. So anyway, that time was just videos on KBC.
So it was music. It wasn't even.
And then going for the missions. I think it was good because it kind of kept me grounded. I think too much fame kind of blows someone's mind because my parents keep telling me, no, you're not going here because of this. But now I see they were trying to keep me, you know. Yeah.
So you were getting offers. People were like, okay, because what show were you on? What?
My Sing and Shine.
Okay.
It was not Sing and Shine. Joy Bringers. And then yeah.
Tell us about, okay, so now you are Joy Bringers and you're singing the songs from this first album.
So I'd be going there, I remember very well, and people would be clapping. As in after I sing, you know, they don't clap for anybody else because they're competing with each other, the artists, okay, whatever reason they have. So after I sing, they'd be clapping, they'd be shouting. I'm like, oh, it would feel good. At the time, I remember watching Esther Home, had just was there at the time. I don't remember what songs she was singing, but it was before, you know,
yes.
Yeah, before those ones. But she was so pretty according to us. I remember me and my sister going like, amejipaka nini? She was applying some powder on her face. And looking at it now, she wasn't looking that good as she is looking right now. But we were so, tulikuwa washamba sana. So looking up to people like that. We had a mentality of what we want to be, but we didn't have it because we were living in the village.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's amazing because you are already making it. You are already, I mean, one, you had an album. Your album was already opening up doors onto mainstream media. I mean, it's not like we had options right now of how many different stations to watch or internet and all that. So that was progress. Okay, so tell us now what happens now when you enter high school. Okay.
High school, I had another album. I did another one when I was in Form 1. Ruben. I was so focused. You know, I usually say...
You are, not war. You are.
No. I usually say I was more focused then. Because at 12, I'd be going to Katoloni. I don't know if you know Katoloni. It's a prayer mountain.
Yeah.
I totally didn't understand. I'd go there, be so hungry, but I'm just praying, God, anoint me, use me, repeat many times. So somehow by 14, I did another album, but now with Ruben Kigame. It was better quality because Ruben was more musical and, you know, we took time to rehearse before the recording.
Was it still one take in one day?
No.
Okay, this one was now more into how people record now.
Yeah. And then, it was interesting going to Nairobi, coming to Ruben Kigame's. Thank God for my daddy. I would have never known people like Ruben Kigame. And so, and so high school was an album.
What is the name of this album that you recorded?
Oh, Roses Will Bloom Again.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
You're on your own level. You have 2 albums by the age of 14.
Yeah.
People in the industry right now still don't have 2 albums.
You know, it is very serious. I'm joking.
It is.
But anyway.
So from that album, did you have any features on that album?
No, just my mom.
Just your mom? Huh?
Just my mom and my sisters, but I was, you know, the main artist.
Yeah.
So, but it was still my album. I have the cover. I should show you the cover.
Yeah.
Basically, high school I was never broke, I thank God, because I was always selling, you know, not CDs. That time it was tapes.
Yeah.
All through high school, I was a celebrity in a way, you know, respected.
What high school are you now?
Machakos Girls.
Machakos Girls.
Yeah. I went to Modale Kidogo, but I went to Machakos Girls more of my. And it was good. It was good. We were still based in Shags, which was good for us, I think. Yeah, because you know you're famous in school, but uko na ushamba. Yeah, because I remember. Okay, after high school, I went to Daystar. Daystar was like where on our watu.
But even before Daystar,
yeah,
I'm trying to get the high school experience, especially for all those people who are in high school right now, who are, you know, it's easier to record now. It's not like back in the day.
Yeah.
Were you still doing the Joy Bringers? Were you still now getting more airplay? I'm sure a few radio stations have popped up.
Yeah.
Was there a bit more fame? Were you being called for shows?
There weren't much of shows. It was more churches,
church. Okay.
Churches and ministries. But because we were in the interior, quite Yatta, Yatta, the roads were bad then. There was no electricity. Because we were there then, it kind of kept us hidden.
I get.
Yeah.
I understand.
So, which I think was good. All things, you know, you look back and you're like, that was good for me. Because if I had the shows that we have now, I'd be something else.
So you are something else, though.
Yeah.
So that's funny. But let me say, so the places where you're with your voice and doing things is maybe, were you in CU?
Yeah, I was actually a CU leader.
Oh, okay. And then with your mom, while you're doing this various, is your parents still, all for the Lord?
Oh yeah, even more. So for them, ministry broke up at the time. When my dad left his job, he left for full-time ministry, and then ministry broke up. So that was a circumstance that forced us to go into Shags. Something we all didn't want, because his ministry was growing into international, you know, more open doors. But when it broke up...
When you say it broke up, what do you mean?
Split. You know how people go...
The dominations, different churches.
No. It was evangelical ministry. So what they would do is, he's an evangelist. So what they would do is go around preaching the world. They'll do district-wide missions where they're preaching in a whole district for like 9 days, that sort of thing. And so what happened is the deputy left with the people that were in the ministry. So he was alone. Of course, you don't know what happened then, but it was a hard time for us because he's left his job. So we are in Shags. There's no electricity. There's no TV. You know, it's a battery TV. We're eating githeri every day. You know, that it was a humble kind of life then. And so, yeah.
So now from From that is now where you, now next stage, Daystar. Tell us about Daystar.
Daystar for me was
Tell me you first wrote another album. Because
yes, I did. Funny enough, I did.
You seem to be that person who is...
But now, actually, what happened is...
Okay, start from Daystar now.
Daystar, on my first year, that was 2002, was when we discovered RK.